The offseason has finally come for year one of the Athletics rebuild here. It's kind of, I guess, more jumping around this offseason. There's not many edits in the beginning, and then eventually there is more edits on the end. Um, we start off with the retirements here. We only have two. It's veteran pitchers that just really don't have the ability to pitch anymore. I'll scroll through some of these. I don't know how many I scrolled through, but there was no big name guys like Albert Pujols, guys like Yadier Molina. I think Kurt Suzuki was probably the biggest name out of all these guys. Who's honestly, in my opinion, he's been a reliable catcher. He even had a pretty good year in his last year, but he's going to be leaving. And I think that was the biggest name. I like view those stats in the player card of some people. Um, Here you can see the Mariners who won the World Series. You can see the people that left their team. You see Greg Holland, reliable guy. Most of these guys are just like decently reliable players in their time in the majors. But that was it. Like Jesse Chavez down there for the Cubs. Um, no big names though, so we don't really go through too much here. I think I only look at the actual team retirements, and then I jump over to the Cardinals to make sure they still have their two players. But you can see, I believe Kurt Suzuki was the biggest name. There was a bunch of guys in the free agency that I did look at, guys like Jake Arrieta and just free agent guys that weren't on a team anymore. You can see here I actually go check the Cardinals to make sure they still have Yadier Molina and Pujols. The problem is I'm pretty sure they're both on 1-year contracts. Definitely Yadier Molina, so he's not going to be returning to the team anyway. Pujols, 43 years old, still thinks he can swing a bat like everyone else in the majors. Here we go to our staff. We fire our manager. We fire, I think, our pitching and our first base coach. We lost our hitting coach already. We kept the farm director and the third base coach. And the new staff looks like this. We got Spencer Kang, Bernardo Lugo, Falcone are back. Actually, that's not the new staff. These are the people I initially offered to. You can see the guys that actually hire our pitching coach. Checked again. Not much change. Sim another day. We got our first base coach, I think that's it. Or hitting coach. I'm not really sure. It was definitely our hitting coach. So now we're just waiting on our manager and our first base coach. And here, you see me double check. I wanted to make sure I got the offers that I wanted, and I was still ahead. That, and I didn't want to sim too far ahead and sim right through free agency. I do that a lot in this game. I sim right through free agency, and I miss the first couple days. You see our first base coach decided to accept another offer. So that was our last day for qualifying offers. First base coach, we go over to Sami Morris and offer him a contract here. We got a really good pitching staff, which doesn't really make sense to do after year one, but hey, I got a coaching staff. Here we are, I think this is arbitration. No, I don't know what this is. I want to say it's arbitration, but it might just be like tender contracts or something like that. You can see some of the offers we make here. I actually scrolled through them all. Here, Kaprelian, he gets re-signed to a small 2-year deal here. He didn't have the best season. He had more of like an average to below average season. But honestly, on the Oakland A's, that's a pretty damn good season. So we'll re-sign him, keep him in the rotation. Maybe eventually we'll trade him for someone, or maybe we just keep him and he turns out to be good. I really stayed on this offer for a long ass time. I did not realize that when I was editing this. But eventually that's the offer we gave him. We got Bo Carlick here, who I think I called Bayo Carlick a few times. I'm going to give him I'm going to up the offer, but I'm going to give him a very cheap deal, about $120K, 3 years. Pretty much gets rid of the renewable. And my initial plan was to have him play every day in left field. He had a pretty good season during September call-ups, which was really all he played. Sheldon Noisy, or is it Noisy? It was Noisy. We don't offer him. Got Soderstrom here, who was the better of the two catchers. Both him and Langeliers or whatever his name is. that I still don't know because every time I try to say it, I butcher the fuck out of it. So we signed both of them. Soderstrom is probably going to play a lot more. Langelier is going to be just kind of like a backup defensive catcher. Caleb Killian here, we sign him. And we just basically go through, I think Christian Pache. Yeah, we re-sign him. I did have him as platoon because my initial plan was not to actually re-sign him. I didn't want to give him a death. I did want to keep him on the roster. But, well, again, we'll have to see through spring training, which I actually didn't record any of it. But I did play some of spring training, and I got the roster, like the opening day roster that I wanted. I actually already played opening day. I just have not edited or recorded it yet. You just see a lot of these offers I'm making. It's just straight up minor league deals. I thought I did a lot of contracts in this like little stage. Like I offered all these guys. There's some guys like Brent Honeywell I did not re-sign. Sheldon Noisy. There's probably a few other guys that I've already missed, and I am going to miss. Because this is just, first off, it's a way too small of a screen to actually see everything. I don't know why they did it this way in the recording, like editing thing that it's on PlayStation, the Share Factory thing. I don't know why when I'm doing a voiceover they have to put the giant ass microphone on the right side while I'm sitting here trying to commentate over something. But like a small box on the corner of the screen and let me actually see what the hell is happening. But that's complaints for another day. We're just re-signing a bunch of guys. Brian Matta, Micah Bell. We have a lot of young pitchers here. I know Michael McGreevy was somewhere on this list. Well, I have a few young pitchers that I like, and I hope I can bring up to the main roster soon. Obviously, Brian Matta is already there. I know usually AAA is kind of the older guys that are already, some are former players, some are kind of, I won't say, I guess MLB ready, but like there's not really a spot for them on the MLB roster. But this year, for us, a lot of the AAA team's going to be young guys just trying to develop them because I want them here. You will actually see right there Kevin Smith I did not re-sign, and I will spoil later on. I do actually pick him back up. I didn't really think I wanted him, with the fact being we have Max Muncy and Robert Poussin. With those two guys developing, I didn't think we needed him. I give Jonah Bride here a contract because he had a really good year in the minor leagues. He just was not doing good for us in the majors, so I give him a very long contract for some reason. Kind of just hoping he can turn it around in the majors. If not, we'll keep him in the minors, kind of just be that guy to come up and down when we need him. But back to Kevin Smith, I did like him. I did like him a lot. But at a position where two of our top position prospects are, it's kind of hard to really say that I wanted him over Max Muncy or Robert Poussin. And eventually, like I said, I do re-sign him. I initially re-signed him to be just another, like, death guy. Just kind of be there if injuries happen. But again, I'm not sure what happens. Like I said, I did do opening day and all that already, but I don't remember anything that happened. You can see a lot of guys that we traded before, like Michael Beltre. We got him back. See, I checked his stats. He went up plus 14 against lefties as a lefty bat, which is nice. Guys like Dalton Kelly, who's been on the roster. Eventually this dies because for some reason I just showed me re-signing everyone, which I really don't have to do. I hopefully next season don't do this. Hopefully I just show like the main guys, like the specific guys. Guys like the Caprellian, guys like the Langoliers and the Soderstorms. Not guys like the Kirby Sneeds, who I didn't even know was on our roster. But what are you going to do? I mean, I re-signed a good chunk of these guys. Some of them I do let go. Most of the guys I let go are like the potential veterans that I didn't really think we needed. I did re-sign some of them because you need a lot of spots on this. Like, you need a 90-man roster, basically. So I'm just re-signing guys, not even looking at the contracts. I'm just kind of, if the interest is high, I'm giving them the contract, and they'll come back. But if I, like, remembered a name, or I have ideas for someone, I will obviously edit the contract a little bit. Guys like Miguel Romero, who had a pretty good year, I give them the contract that they wanted. And Brady Fiegel's the last one. I think we jump over to... so this was tender contract, so now do we go over to arbitration? We do. And the first guy is Austin Meadows, who I'm not going to give him arbitration, man. I'm just going to re-sign him. I want to say it was a 5-year... I guess $13.4 million contract. I want to say I upped it, so it's about $14 million a year. To be our star player, he got a player choice, and he ended up accepting that offer. I went through everyone else. Apparently, I didn't want to show that. I jumped right over to the free agency here. You can see the big names. My main idea was to go for pitching, but there wasn't many guys that I wanted. Zach Eflin being the biggest guy. The problem is all these guys want contenders. That, or they're just veterans that I have no desire to bring to Oakland, because honestly, I want younger guys that can probably develop into being good middle of the rotation guys. I don't need Adam Wainwright coming to my team to try to win a title, because we're not going to win a title. We're not going to win it for the next couple of years. But you can see all these spots that I did look, and before this clip here of the free agency, I actually did look at some of the free agent guys. So I already had an idea of who I wanted to sign and who I didn't want to sign. You can see a lot of these guys that I've never heard of before, probably because they're not real players, or if they are, I just never even knew about them. Just a lot of guys, closers here that I was kind of interested in. Only problem is closers, really, I'm probably going to just move you to the regular bullpen, because I have a good closing situation on my team. So here, eventually, I pick up... Do I pick up anyone in this clip, or do I wait till the next clip to do it? I do in this one. I give an offer to Martin Marshall, just kind of be another guy in the rotation to help. Next guy I actually go to is third baseman Rougned Odor. Had a pretty decent to bad year for the Orioles last year. I'm kind of bringing him in on a almost $5 million contract for 1 year. Worst comes to worst, we trade him and we get nothing back. Best thing is he becomes a really good player for us. He's only 29. He could develop a little bit more, but hopefully it works out for us. Next guy I go to is Dansby Swanson, who was getting lowballed by the Braves as his only other contract. So yeah, you might think this contract here is a little lowball, but it's actually better than the Braves contract. I guess it kind of looks worse. But Dansby Swanson, he's a good guy to have. I think it might have been a reach to go for him, especially with the team I'm trying to build here. But I'm kind of giving him this contract, kind of be like a prove-it contract. Maybe in that year or 2-year contract, I think it was 2-year contract I gave him, he could prove himself and get some value on his name. And then maybe either get traded, or next time he hits the free agent market, maybe he has a bigger value. Because the Braves were giving him nothing. I mean, we didn't really give him nothing, but we gave him a new spot to play. So I guess I don't know why you want to play for Oakland. You see we advance a day, and Martin Marshall accepted a Nationals offer, and Max Muncy goes to the World Series winners, the Seattle Mariners. Another guy I looked at here, as you saw quickly, was Joey Gallo. Had no offers, but we didn't make an offer to him. We just kept simulating, making sure offers went through, and we actually checked here. Austin Meadows signed his contract, so he's here for the next 5 years. My plan, at least for now, is to DH him. I mean, everyday DH. We could have Bo Carlick in the outfield, who's a better outfielder. We simulate a few days later. Ruben Odor also signs. My plan for him is to play the middle infield, probably second base. Third base, obviously, being helpful. We don't really need a third baseman. You can see here, the only offer Mitch Haniger had, this was at least a week or two in advance, was for the Yankees. A 1 year, $10 million deal. After the year he put up for a team that won the World Series, I was ready to give him an everyday player contract. And I thought that was a pretty good offer. $10.5 million for 2 years, gave him the player option. Or did I? I might not have. I guess I gave him a club option. But we started to simulate. We actually had too many players on our roster, so I guess I went to go fix that. And then I fixed that and simulated. Aaron Judge went to the Brewers on a big deal, which is weird because I'm pretty sure they have Hunter Renfroe out there. But, yeah, might as well get a better version of Hunter Renfroe. I don't know what to tell you. Here, Joey Gallo gets an offer. We still have our 2 offers for Dansby Swanson and Mitch Haniger as the only other offers. And then Mitch Haniger all of a sudden signs with the Angels. Wasn't even offering him a contract when I saw. Just all of a sudden he signed with the Angels. So you could tell Marte signs there. And I went to right field because I did want a right fielder. And Anthony Santander was there. Not the best fielder, not the fastest guy, but a very good bat. Hopefully he could get something. Seth Brown was another guy. Maybe bring him back. He was getting lowballed. And you can see here, all of a sudden, I had 67 people on my roster. Remember not too long ago when it said I had 97? Well, now I have 67. Here are the offers now. Santander, Josh Van Meter, Albert Almora Jr., and Monte Harrison, I think that's his name. We gave them all offers. I think Josh Van Meter was the only one that did not come back. And here I went back to Kevin Smith, and this is when I gave Kevin Smith an offer. I realized not only do we not have a lot of roster spots, but he's not that bad. So I brought him back. Here, we simulate a few days. You see Josh Van Meter. He declines us. But we got up to 71 people. Luis Rengifo, I don't know. He was another guy I offered a contract to. You see Chris Bassett signs with the Reds. And we actually just jump right to the Rule 5 draft. And we actually made 2 picks here. We go Enyel De Los Santos, the former Indians prospect. I was going to do Hunter Wood, but we actually already had him in the minors. So worst comes to worst, he's just not on our team anymore. So I went with De Santos. And then I pick up Scott Kingery, another shortstop, which kind of ruins the point of, well, really our 2 prospect shortstops and bringing back Kevin Smith. It really made no sense. But we did it. We brought Kingery over. And then we went back to signing. And we signed DJ Stewart to a 1-year deal, a big lefty bat. Probably isn't going to be too happy with his role on our team. You can actually see here, Joey Gallo re-signs with the Rangers, which is kind of nice. But we do get Dansby Swanson, so eventually he signs with us. And then coming to the end of the video and, well, the offseason, we simulate 2 arbitration hearings. You see Wilson Contreras signed with the Royals. Edwin Diaz goes to the Tigers. And the Royals got a new catcher. They'll actually end up getting a new pitcher here. Tim Anderson goes over to Colorado. And the Royals get Aaron Nola, because why not? You can actually see some trades here. I don't think anyone big was traded. Mike Mustaski, I still can't pronounce his name for this long, and Joe Kelly, kind of our biggest names traded. See Deolis Guerra, he gets arbitration hearing. I don't know if I showed the other guys. But next episode will be opening day weekend. So guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Sorry for the long wait between videos. And until next time, I'll talk to you all later.